Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon if you're East Coast, and welcome to the first April edition of the ISM Lunch and Learn series. Today we're going to be talking to Mr. Peter Wolf with Azamba Consulting. He is our CRM specialist that ISM partners with. He'll be talking to us about CRM dreams versus CRM reality. All phones will be muted during the presentation. However, please note we will open them up at the end for questions. If perhaps you think of something during the presentation, please feel free to use the question pane or the chat window, and I will address those when ready. With that, I'm going to turn everything over to Peter. Peter, thank you so much for your time today, and welcome.
Thanks, Sherry. I appreciate that introduction, and thanks everybody for joining us today. As Sherry said, I'm Peter Wolf. I partner with ISM to bring CRM to businesses such as yourself. I eat, sleep, and breathe CRM. I may have even talked to a few of you on the call in the past, but my passion is helping small businesses be successful with CRM. So one of the things that kind of leads to is we've helped a lot of companies with CRM, and a lot of people come to us with all these ideas about CRM they've heard from other people, or they've read, or they went to some webinar and they heard all these great things that CRM can do. So I've been doing this presentation for a while, CRM dreams versus CRM reality, and I kind of want to walk through a few of the common dreams that people have and how they manifest themselves with the reality of the situation. So to kind of get started, this kind of sums that up a little bit. What's the big campaign idea? We're going digital, Facebook, YouTube, and people get all excited about all this stuff. And they're like, well, what are we going to do with all this? And it's like, I don't know, we'll figure it out later. A lot of times we focus on small businesses, and small businesses know that they need to have something to kind of organize their efforts, and kind of like this cartoon is portraying, digital sounds great and it's all exciting, but where's the payoff? For us, our big focus is what's the payoff. So let's segue into that. For those of you that don't know what CRM is, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about what CRM is. There's a few resources on the ISM website about that, and also the Azamba website about that if you want more information. But in general, CRM is kind of a central hub for everything that's important about your business, the way you take care of your prospects, your customers, how your team interacts with each other, kind of the details in the weeds, as far down the weeds you want to go, but also big picture so management can figure out what's happening from a sales perspective, a strategy perspective, how are we doing against our plans. For a lot of our clients that come to us, they don't really have any tool in place. They're using their accounting software to track their sales, but it's not really a full sales, service, marketing kind of hub. It's more specifically for the accounting side of it. CRM provides you that one central place for all that kind of key information so you can track and manage it and just improve the process. I have a saying I like to say that when CRM is done right, it's going to allow you to deliver a consistently high quality experience to your customers each and every time, and your prospects. And that's really what it's all about in business today. It's too competitive out there these days. Having that consistent high quality experience is so essential to all of us because our competition is one click away on the internet. And so that kind of makes this idea of this consistent high quality experience an essential facet of all of our businesses. All right. So I'm going to jump forward here. So let's get right into the dream. So we get prospects coming to us, and I'm going to do this thing where the prospects come to us with the dreams, and I'm going to talk about the reality. So we hear a lot of people come to us and say, well, CRM is going to increase productivity and efficiency and, make us more money, and that is true. That is a good dream to have, and that is ultimately the purpose of CRM. The reality is, though, that there is a cost to CRM. There's not only a cost of the software, and frankly, the cost of the software for most people gets paid back quickly if you've done it right, but there's a cost to the data entry. There's training time. There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be some stumbles with CRM. And I know there's a lot of people out there, like especially people that read the Salesforce.com ads, and there's not a bash on Salesforce. It's a great product. But what happens with Salesforce.com is that people have this misperception that you just turn a switch on and you're going to be immediately productive and efficient and making more money and everything's going to be great for you. No, it's not. You need training and time. You need to focus on your adoption. Garbage in is garbage out. That's a pretty famous saying. And what happens to a lot of people is if they don't implement CRM in a structured methodology, then people don't use the software. So one of the ways we counter that over here is we focus on how the salespeople, how the service people, how the marketing people on the front lines are going to get a return on their time and their investment, because there's still going to be the cost of data entry. There's still going to be time required to record stuff if you want to get the value out of CRM. How do we make it pay for itself? All right, so that's kind of something that you need to be aware of. And I'm going to cover some more of these tips and strategies on how to reach those dreams at the end. Another dream that we hear is CRM provides greater visibility. And so this, of course, is true. I mean, the whole idea of CRM is that central database. It's a central place for everything in your business. Well, the reality is, again, it kind of ties that last slide. People may stick to old habits. So just because you have a CRM system, people might still go to their spreadsheet to record their notes or use their Outlook as their primary calendar. They might just run a report from the accounting software. People might just stick to those old habits. So visibility, the reality is visibility may be limited until your adoption is high. It really requires, again, that structured approach to make sure that for us, we really focus on the adoption. And adoption is kind of a fancy term. I'm going to explain what that means specifically, because I'm going to use the word over and over again. But adoption isn't just using the software. It means that they really start to love the software. It's almost like anybody with a smartphone that has one of these apps like Candy Crush, where people just go to that app and they're like almost addicted to it. Adoption is kind of like that, but less sinister. So it's more like you understand and appreciate what the tool is going to do for you, and there's a value to the tool, and you have brought it into your fold as one of your core feature sets, almost like an extension of your arm. For people that have been around the block like me, back in the day, the Franklin Day Planners, you'd open up your double-sided book where on the left side would be a calendar of events for the day, and on the right side you'd put your notes and your specific tasks. That used to be kind of that essential tool for salespeople. And so CRM can get there, and when it's done right, it will get there for you and your business. So you do get that dream of greater visibility. Okay? The next dream. So this is another thing that people come to us. There's this overwhelming need to find new customers and do marketing, make it easy to do marketing. And this is a really important thing for all of us, because, most of our clients, 80% of their business, 70 to 80% of their business is going after current accounts and making it easy to upsell and cross-sell current accounts, but you still always need new customers, even if you don't have a big account base. And so the idea, the dream of CRM making that easier to do, that is a very seductive dream and very important. The reality is, for most of our clients are small business clients, and they don't have a marketing department. They don't have a marketing person. And so we go into the CRM with this idea of crawl, walk, run. So find a small, manageable, bite-sized project to do with CRM that immediately has a positive impact on your salespeople, your service people. If you have marketing, great. Yeah, you can do that. But really start with the core frontline people, your sales or service. Get some benefits right away. Once you start to get some data in the system, you start to get some traction, you start to get some momentum, then it's easy to do marketing. And that's true whether you're doing new business hunting or account management hunting. So for example, a lot of our clients are distribution wholesalers. And so the average account manager might have anywhere from 30 to 300 accounts that they manage. Well, as time goes on and you start to see those trends with those current accounts that you're working with, CRM can do things like slice and dice your database in a million different ways. So you can say things like, give me all of my customers who bought something in 2016 but didn't buy anything in 2017. Now, you can call that marketing, you can call it account management, you can call it sales, but either way, the tool provides the foundation to allow you to reach out to those people with a specific message. And one of the realities of marketing is the more specific your list is, the more specific your message can be. And the more specific your message is, the better results you're going to have with that message. So if you can go out to those folks that bought something in 2016 and didn't buy in 2017, and maybe even subdivide it even further by geographic region or product line that they've purchased in the past, you can put a specific message together. Or maybe if it's a small enough list, you can just do some individual calls instead of doing a blast email. You can just pick up the phone and call the dozen or 2 dozen customers and just say, hey, Susan, it's been a while since we spoke. I know we didn't do any business last year, but I kind of want to share a few things that we're doing over here and find out a little bit more about your business and see if there's ways we can work together. It's just something like that the tool does allow you to really roll up your sleeves and understand your customers better. And for me and for most of our customers, it's not about this whole big data idea that you have. It's all about actually getting the more personalized insights into your customers so that you can reach out with that personalized, targeted message. And the more specific, more targeted you can get, the better it's going to be for you. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. That's a really big part of it. We put in here, it's phase 2 or later, and that's, again, it's that crawl, walk, run. We like to see people do the basics with CRM, absorb it, understand how it's going to work, and then do that marketing part, that slicing and dicing the data once the data has built up as a phase 2. This is another big one. So sometimes we get people that come to us and say, well, we want to close more deals, and CRM is going to help us do that. This is a very powerful part of CRM, and obviously CRM, for a lot of people, they think of it as a sales tool. And it is true. It will help you close more deals. Again, and a lot of my points here go back to this adoption and proper usage concept, because it's true. CRM is a tool like any other tool. And I use this kind of analogy where if my wife bought me the best handyman tools in the world, the premium model, $4,000 screwdrivers, whatever, the truth is they'd probably sit in the garage and get rusty, because it's just a tool to me, and I wouldn't necessarily know how to use all those fancy tools. I wouldn't have a need for them. So again, your CRM is not a silver bullet. It's not going to magically make things better for you. A lot of our clients come to us, and one of the challenges of a small business is, and I run a small business, so I'm speaking personally of my own experience as well. We all wear so many hats. We're all stretched so thin that it's hard to get our arms around things. So a lot of our prospects come to us, and they don't have a sales process. They don't have a documented sales process anyway. A lot of them will have just, Susan knows what she's supposed to do, Fred knows what he's supposed to do, and, they just kind of do their job. And some of them don't have structured geographic territory. Some of them don't have structured account management processes. And that's fine. We're used to that. So one of our goals is we look at CRM as a tool, and it is going to be that foundational tool that you need. But our goal is to help you provide a skeleton of a structure just to get started with CRM. Because, again, the CRM part of it is just that tool, that data repository. It needs to be married with processes, structures, automation, what data to collect. So, again, going back to the data side of it, people ask me all the time, how much data do we record? Do we record every phone call, every meeting, every touch point we have with a prospect or customer? And my answer is always, it depends. It depends on where you see your value and kind of how you want to apply the tool to your specific needs. And every company is a little bit different. What we like to do is kind of give recommendations based on, once we understand a business and kind of how they operate, we'll give anecdotal stories of how similar businesses have used CRM. I'm not a big fan of recording every last transaction, every last phone call, every last detail. The key for me is keep it simple. The simpler it is, but still adding value, the more likely you're going to increase your adoption, make life easy for your sales, your service, and your marketing people so that they will use the tool day in and day out. And then all the other great things that manifest, all these dreams that we're talking about, will start to come true for you. And so keep it simple, focus on what is appropriate for your business. And remember it all the time, CRM is just a tool. It's not a silver bullet. It's not a magic answer. It needs to be applied appropriately. All right. Another dream is that CRM makes follow-ups and staying on top of things easier. And so, again, a lot of our clients come to us, a lot of our prospects come to us, and one of the biggest problems is they have no visibility. And I don't know how many of you on the call feel this way, but they have no visibility. They feel like they have no control. They don't really know what's going on. And they know that they want to have a better, they want to have their salespeople and their service people and their account management be more effective and stay on top of things. Yeah, that's a big part of CRM. That's a big part of the dream of CRM. The reality is automation and streamlined processes are possible, and CRM enables those. And by having everything in one place, it makes it easy to do automated follow-ups. But it does require strategy It requires thinking through it. It requires the process to be in place with or without CRM. It requires design and proper implementation. So I'm going to give you two simple examples that I like to give because I think they're really powerful. So with my Sage CRM system, if I send out a quote today, my system is programmed that in 2 business days, so it knows to not include weekends and holidays, so in 2 business days, put a reminder on my calendar to follow up with that customer. Now that's something really simple, but CRM does it for me, so I don't have to worry about that. And the system never forgets to remind me to do that follow-up. If I'm juggling 10, 20, 30 different sales opportunities and maybe 100 accounts assigned to me, I might forget about that follow-up, and that customer might go somewhere else for that deal. It's that personal touch and that follow-up that gives us a chance to make sure that that business comes through for us. And CRM never forgets. And you can make it even more sophisticated than that. So you could make rules such as, in 2 days, put a reminder on my calendar if the deal is $10,000 or more. If it's below $10,000, just send it's a small enough deal that I don't necessarily need to be involved with. So send an automated reminder to the customer. And it can come from me. It could say, "Dear Susan, just wanted to make sure you got all the information you needed with that quote. If you have any questions, please let me know. We'd love to do business with you." And so the system sends that email out on my behalf, or maybe it queues it up for me to say, yes, approve it, send it out. And that $10,000, just an example, you could set your own thresholds and kind of control that. Another example I'd like to give is, again, a lot of our clients are distribution manufacturing, and they might juggle anywhere from, a couple dozen accounts to several hundred accounts. We have one client that has over 1,000 accounts per account manager. It's completely impractical to even imagine staying on top of that without a system. And so what CRM can do is it can automatically remind you, you haven't spoken to these accounts in the last 3 months or 30 days or whatever the threshold it is that you want. So again, the system reminds you on how to stay on top of people and making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. And so CRM, in a way, that makes that dream come true. But again, the reality of it is it doesn't just happen on its own. The system is a tool, like we talked about in the last slide. You need to figure out, what are those automations? What are those follow-ups? What is the process that your company wants to adhere to? You look at a company like Zappos, they have a certain customer service process. They started with a process and they built systems around that. And that's kind of what you need to do with CRM. Again, it's combining this slide with the last slide. The CRM is a tool. It can do all those things for you, but it requires elbow grease on your part and thinking on your part. One of the exercises that we do with this is we have this thing called an automation workshop, which is very effective. And we kind of instigate questions for our clients so they can start thinking through what would be great to help our salespeople and our service people create that high quality, consistent, awesome experience for our customers and prospects. And what kind of things can the system do for them to take those burdens off their shoulders and make sure that they get done, so that no rock goes unturned and no step goes untouched. And so we work with our clients to do that, and then we make suggestions based on what we know of their business, what other clients have done, and together we kind of come up with a great little action plan. And it's amazing to me how far this goes to making your CRM this amazing value for you, and it really reaches this dream. A little automation goes a long way with CRM. Okay. This is a big one, especially for our clients. A lot of our clients are from partners like ISM who have, put the ERP in place, the accounting software in place, a solid foundation for their business. And our clients they come to us and they want the CRM integrated with all the other systems. And that's a perfectly reasonable request. What is surprising is the reality is that the integration with some systems is out of the box and other systems require custom integration. Both are in work in process. So Sage does a great job with the Sage accounting software and the Sage CRM. They have a Sage integration layer. I tell people now, it is not going to be the perfect integration. There is no such thing as a perfect integration. But I do a lot of work with other systems, and I see what my peers are doing with their CRM systems like Salesforce and other products out there. And the integration points are usually a middleware, a third party, and there's all sorts of headaches and problems. Plus you have the extra cost of a third party integration. Plus when things need to be updated, you've got three different players at work. You've got the accounting vendor, you've got the middleware layer, the integration layer, and then you've got the CRM layer. So there's three different moving parts. Sage does a pretty darn good job of making sure that that integration works. A lot of our clients also want integrations with other systems, like a warehouse system or maybe a marketing system, or MailChimp is a common integration. So Sage has done a good job of building some of those integrations out of the box. And other ones, though, you just have to go into the reality check that no integration is perfect. There's always going to be a few headaches, but for the most part, Sage has done a great job with making the open interfaces. Not to get too technical, but Sage has a lot of open interfaces so that the programs can talk to other programs. And we have been very happy with the ability to integrate Sage CRM with other products. And out of the box, the Sage 100 integration is very nice for our average customer, the average SMB Sage 100 customer. Okay. This is another big dream, and I believe, again, I'm not trying to pick on Salesforce. Salesforce is a great product, but I think one of the challenges that Salesforce presents to me and my typical customer, and I'm going to guess most of you on the phone here, is that they sell this idea that CRM is just point and click. You just give them your credit card and bam, you're going to be up and running. It's easy to use, easy to customize. Oh, it's going to be a snap. The reality is, depending on the level of your people, their technical expertise, you may be self-sufficient right out of the box, or you may need a lot of help. Our goal here, one of the ways we measure our success, is our clients are as self-sufficient as they want to be. And so sometimes that isn't even based on their technical ability. It may just be based on, we don't have the time to do this. I give the example, like when I was in high school many, many years ago, I learned how to do an oil change. But if I wanted to do that nowadays, I would just blow a whole weekend and make a mess of myself in my garage. And so I just go to Jiffy Lube because it's affordable, it's fast, and I know that they're going to take care of things I probably wouldn't even think about. Other clients, though, of ours, we just help them out. We're kind of like level 2 or level 3 support for them, and they're very self-sufficient. CRM, Sage CRM in particular, is very customizable. In fact, one of the things that we like to tell people is when people get started with Sage CRM, we like to streamline and prune back some of the more complex things to make it easy to roll out, easy to adopt. We don't want sales and service and marketing people being overwhelmed with options. We actually want to, I hate to say it, but dumb it down a little bit, make it simpler and more on point to your people. And then over time, once you start to use it, again, crawl, walk, run, so ease into it. Once you start to use it a little bit more, then you customize it, then you tweak it, then you add the custom screen or the add back in a functionality that we had hidden. So all that stuff is there, and you kind of unlock it. For anybody that plays those games online, they reveal new things the farther down the road you go. And it's a lot like that with CRM. Start off with the basics, keep it simple, get some value out of it, and then add things in as you need. And I'm sure a lot of you are probably on the financial side, the accounting folks, the controllers on this call. But I also use the example of Excel. So Excel is an amazing tool for people that like numbers. I love numbers. I love Excel. Excel has this whole engine-based, the macros for sure. You can make little formulas, functions pretty easily. But actually, you can write whole programs in Excel. So I myself am really good at the functions and using the certain functions over and over. But for the macros, I lean on someone else in my company to do those things. And so CRM is a lot like that. There's some real easy stuff that, a good power user can take to the moon and back. And then there's the more complex stuff that can take you to Jupiter and back. But you might need different skill levels. All right. This is my favorite one. When I give this presentation with one of my coworkers, we always get a good chuckle out of this. This is the biggest dream. A lot of the people that we talk to are management. They're the owners of the company, the VP of sales. They come to us thinking about their goals and their needs and their desires to have more visibility, to have everyone on the same page, to have all these automations. That's what they want. And that's what we want for them too. But the underlying idea there is that all those dreams of getting all the value out of CRM from the visibility and management and big picture and strategy stuff, all that is based on the sales team actually using the software, the service team actually using the software. And that's where adoption is so essential. And we put unique in quotes here because salespeople, anybody that works with salespeople know, and I'm a sales guy nowadays, but so I don't take offense at this, but they're unique. So they may not be excited about CRM. They may want to be doing things their own way. And if you tell them there's a new tool that's going to help the company with visibility and keeping them on point, a lot of them will chafe under that kind of mandate. And they might say, you know what, I'm just going to drag my feet on it. And a lot of the failures of CRM, and CRM does have a high failure rate if you don't approach it with seriousness of intent. A lot of the failure comes to salespeople, service people dragging their feet, and management not being prepared on what to do. We had one of our larger accounts a couple of years back. There were 100 seats of CRM at a bank, and we all went out for dinner during the rollout week. And the CFO asked me, well, what do I do if Bill, he was the biggest sales guy, doesn't want to use the CRM? And I kind of just offhandedly said I would fire him. And the guy looked at me with shock. But the truth of the matter is, maybe firing isn't the right answer, but you do need to have a plan, a twofold plan. And I use the carrots and the sticks. You need to have carrots in there to make the salespeople want to embrace the CRM. That's where those things like the automation come into play. As a salesperson, especially if they're getting compensated on some percentage of their compensation plan is based on commissions of sales, if the CRM is making it easier for me to stay on top of things, if it's making it easier for me to juggle more throughput, more sales, more quotes, more customer accounts, better quality relationships, if it's allowing me to do that, I will embrace CRM. I might need to be led to the water, and I might need to be shown how to take that first sip of the water, but once I see how that works, I'm just going to dive right in. It's going to be awesome. Same thing on the service side. If you can make it easier for the service people to give quality responses back to your current accounts and get them what they need and be happy, that's going to make their life easy. And so that's kind of what you want to do. So that's the carrot side. And then the stick side is, we approach every customer is different. You guys might have different ways you treat your sales and service people, but we have a whole slew of different sticks you can use. One of our clients only pays commissions on sales that were in CRM. And they went further. So initially it was just if your sale wasn't tracked in CRM, if it wasn't originated in CRM, if there wasn't a record in for CRM, if that thing closes and you send the invoice to accounting, you're not going to get a commission if there's no record in CRM. So that's how they kind of ease the salespeople into kind of putting those things in CRM. And then they went further and they advanced it after about 9 months of that. They said, not only is it good enough to have the record of the sale in CRM, the opportunity, the proposal, the quote in CRM, you also have to have some of your flow in there. So some sort of meeting notes to show you you're actually engaging with the CRM, not just putting a stub into the system so you can get your commission check. And so they kind of ease those sticks into place alongside the carrots, and it really led to a snowball effect where CRM now is wholeheartedly part of the company's DNA, and it allows them to have all these dreams that we're talking about. All right, so I'm kind of beating this one to death. I'm going to move on, but this is a really important one that we've seen. Actually, before I move on, I'm going to give one more example. I kind of lost audio connection there. Sherry, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay,
good. My GoToMeeting just said I lost audio connection for a second there. But another example that actually, I lost my train of thought. So I'm just going to move on here because I want to be respectful, and we've got a few more slides here. So another dream that we have is our team will quickly begin using CRM across the entire organization, not just the sales side. And this kind of plays into the last slide a little bit. The biggest challenge with CRM is changing people's habits. And again, that's where the carrots and sticks come into play. We also, another challenge that we see happening is people try to do too much too soon. And again, our average customer is a small business. Everyone's already wearing multiple hats. Management maybe, engaged with another initiative. I'm never in a big hurry to push the CRM forward. So we've had prospects come to us before and say, yeah, we're doing all these initiatives this summer. We want to get CRM on board. We're also doing a new, warehouse management system, and we're putting in Avalara and all these other great things that, ISM can help you with. And I'll be like, you know what, let's put a pause in this. Your management team is probably going to be stretched too thin. Let's make sure that we have a proper plan in place that focuses on the change issues that are going to face your people. And it's not just your frontline people, it's also your management. again, CRM by itself is just a tool. So we need to make sure that management understands how that tool is going to be effectively applied to reach your business goals, to be successful, and to, become more efficient, more effective, more profitable, create those high quality, consistent experiences. That requires a lot of management thinking and planning. I have a customer just last week who wanted to go forward with Sage CRM, and when it came time to buy the licenses, they gave me a count that didn't match up with my records. And I asked them why, and they said, oh, well, the VP of sales and the CEO are not going to use the software. And I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. How are we going to lead if you're not in the software with your team? And so it really is important that it's not considered just a trivial effort. There is things that need to be planned out, needs to be tried out, and you should go into CRM rollouts. If you guys are starting this, or if you've gone through it before, you know what I'm talking about. You need to anticipate there will be some headaches with CRM. There will be some stumbles. There will be some trips and falls where you feel like, why did we do this? Obviously, I'm a big believer in CRM. I believe passionately that CRM is an effective tool, and it's almost an essential tool in today's day and age with the way things are going with this whole, the customer loyalty is at an all-time low because they can go to the web and just research your competitors and jump ship if they want. So I think a CRM tool is one of the most essential ways to counter that reality, but it does require some forethought and some proper execution. Another dream, CRM will be a snap implement. We don't need any and much help. So again, we deal with small businesses, and a lot of them have tighter budgets. I completely understand that. I own my business here, and I throw around nickels like they're manhole covers. Every nickel is precious to me, so I totally understand that. In my opinion, CRM without proper guidance is a waste of time and money. CRM with the right guidance will give you a return on investment in about 6 months, on the outside 9 to 12 months. We have a whole ROI calculator that's based on, not on fantastical things like, how much more sales will I get, but just productivity improvements that you will get from CRM. And I've got this calculator where I walk through some time savings that you're going to get from CRM, and it usually pays for itself in the first 6 to 9 months. But it does require, again, all these things that we've talked about. It requires some assistance to help you with a clear plan to deliver CRM with those carrots and sticks in a phased-in approach to make sure that you are prepared for the stumbles and you have some sort of guidance. One of the biggest things that we offer our clients is that we've done this so many times that you yourself may not know what you want to get out of CRM or how to implement it or how to structure the sales process. We can offer that guidance, and we have this proven methodology we call On Track that kind of walks you through step by step how to get up and running with CRM. And we tweak it based on each individual customer's needs, but the key is that we provide that plan. And guys, obviously I have a dog in this hunt, so I'm here to help people with CRM. The clients that we see that kind of self-implement that are successful are ones that have a strong person that has been through CRM implementations before, and they can dedicate a good chunk of their time to planning and implementing or rolling out the software. So if you have someone like that, then it's possible that you may be successful. And we have some free resources on our website to help guide with that. We're all about self-sufficiency if people can do it. In general, though, we see it as a point of failure. And there are a lot of prospects that come to us and say, well, we tried Sugar CRM, or we tried Salesforce, we tried Sage CRM in the past, and it failed. And the next question is, well, how did you guys do it? Who helped you with it? And what ultimately comes out is that they just kind of try to slam it in, or they subscribe to, again, I'm picking on Salesforce, but they subscribe to that Salesforce mentality of just give Salesforce your credit card and just start using CRM. And again, guaranteed failure in my opinion. Okay. So this is another one, and this really strikes to my belief about CRM. But the dream is it's going to be amazing with a huge ROI, guaranteed. It's going to be a success. And of course, that's the kind of passion we want people feeling about CRM. And we believe CRM does have that huge ROI. Guaranteed, though, is a tough one because, again, if you do it without a plan, if you jump into it without thinking, if your management's not bought in, if you don't have a champion. There's a lot of ways CRM can fail. So the reality is the one thing I would ask you to leave with is just CRM can deliver this dream, but just don't discount the effort it's going to take to get user adoption. And remember that it's a tool. It's not a magic answer. It's not a silver bullet. It's a tool. And again, that's kind of where we come in. We give you guys a structured methodology to make sure that you're successful. But CRM is an essential tool, in my opinion, and it can give you that huge ROI if you approach it correctly. All right. So I kind of have this last slide here, which is just a summary of why CRM implementations fail. And I'm just going to zip ahead and kind of pull these things up. But the number one thing, and we kind of have said this a couple times, is no blueprint for success, no plan for rollout, no plan for carrots and sticks. And a lot of times our clients don't even have the time to discuss those things because they're so busy. That happens. But it is important reason to note that why CRM implementations fail. And when we talk about CRM implementations failing, let me just take a second and just define exactly what I mean by that, because this is such an important issue. Depending on which research you read, I've read anywhere from 40 to 70% of CRM implementations fail, which means that they're not in use after 12 months in any shape or form, maybe as a glorified Rolodex. To me, CRM is not a glorified Rolodex, and if that's all you're using CRM for, you should look at like something like Act or Zoho, which is a little bit simpler, more contact management based. If you're looking for a full system to do all these great dreams that we talked about before, then you need really a plan for success. Adoption issues. This is like, to me, the heart of all of this is we sell to management, but we focus on the end users. Your team needs something simple. They need to be trained. They need to be trained 10 times before they pick it up. They need to be shown how it's going to benefit them. And you need to, it's just like anything, and I'm sure all of you on the phone, we're all humans. Change is tough for all of us. And being told what to do is tough. And being told that that benefit is for them and not for you, that's double tough. And so, we have all these different tips and strategies to make adoption go smoothly. Another one that we see happening over and over, and I've seen this where companies have spent literally $100,000 on their CRM, and they're doing everything in the kitchen sink, and it's taking them 6 months to a year, 2 years to roll out the software. It's just too much too soon. It's just it's a recipe for failure. Especially for small businesses, you can't invest $100,000, $200,000 in a system that has no return on investment early on. We're a big fan of keeping it nice and tight, keep the project nice and tight, phased approach, crawl, walk, run, create the smallest project possible with CRM to get some value in your people's hands, and then move on to the walk phase when you have the budget, when you have the time, when you have the desire to go on to the walk phase. And our job as consultants and advisors is to help you define what the crawl looks like, what the walk looks like, and what the run looks like. And then we move at the pace of the customer. So when you want to walk, we're ready for you. Some of our clients are still crawling, and it's been several years. Other clients are running within the first year. So it really depends on your own pace. Wrong vendor. So there are wrongs, even though I'm a big believer in Sage CRM. Sage CRM isn't right for everybody. So there's been customers where we will tell them, look, you really aren't a good fit for Sage CRM. You're too small, or your needs aren't right, or you have this one specific need that we're not a good fit at. You need to find the right product for sure. The truth of it is, though, most of the products aren't what's going to stop you from being successful with CRM. What's going to stop you is all these other things like the adoption issues and the blueprint and the too much too soon factor. But the wrong vendor, wrong CRM, these are kind of tied together here. You want to make sure that you have the right fit for you. We do everything with a money back guarantee over here. So like if we do move forward with a prospect or a customer, it's because we know that we have a great chance of helping them succeed. If we feel like we are not the right fit for you, I've referred a lot of prospects to other solutions that I thought were a better fit, because again, we're looking out for the best interest of our prospects and our customers. And so if you're questioning like, is Sage CRM the right fit for me? reach out to Sherry. She'll put you in touch with me, and I can tell you with pretty good accuracy, I've been doing this long enough, if Sage CRM is going to be a good fit for you and help you guys reach your goals. Another one that causes some heartache is no budget. Again, I get it. I'm a small business owner. Every dollar is precious, but it'd be better to not do CRM or move forward if you're going to just set yourself up for failure. So if you don't have budget to do it right, and the budget isn't just dollars for consulting, it could be time. So if you're like going into your busy season, don't start a CRM initiative. It's not going to end well. Wait until you have the time. Wait until you have enough room in the budget. Plan for it to roll it out properly to ensure that you get that return on investment. Another one that we talk about is this idea of this project champion. This is a fancy way of saying someone in your company is tapped with the responsibility and the authority to help make sure that the CRM rollout moves properly forward. So we've seen, I'm sure you've all seen this, where if no one is assigned specifically to a task, it doesn't get done. You have to do it yourself, right? So we usually, before we get started, is we say, who is going to be your project champion? Let's pin the label on them, put the hat on them. Everyone knows that they're the internal advocate for the CRM, and they were going to work with our what we call success coach to make sure that the CRM rollout goes smoothly for everybody. And so we've seen halfway through a project, the project champion leaves. Sometimes the project champion gets too busy. They're doing another initiative, which goes to the too much too soon kind of thing. And next thing you know, the CRM is just going nowhere fast, and that's an unfortunate thing. So if whoever you pick as your project champion, just make sure they can go the distance. And that also kind of ties into the too much too soon, because the shorter the time frame is for the rollout, the tighter the scope is, the less likelihood the project champion leaving is going to be a risk for your company. All right, I think I've got one more slide here. How to make your reality more like dreams. And I've kind of been saying these things as we've been going through it, but we have this proven methodology. We call it crawl, walk, run. And it's pretty intuitive of what that means, but start with the smallest scope possible. Keep your budget tight, keep your rollout time frame tight, make sure that you can get a return on your investment as soon as possible with the smallest set of functionality that still provides value to you. Obviously, you don't want to just roll out something that has no value to anybody, because that defeats the purpose of the adoption. But create something of value and get it done. And so we kind of have pre-structured plans for small businesses to kind of get them into that mode, and then move on to the walk phase when you're ready, when time, budget, and desire kind of intersect and you're ready. And we have a bunch of different options for people that want to go to the walk phase. There's dashboard workshops, there's automation workshops, there's add-on products that you can invest in, additional training, whatever that is. And then the run phase, you can take CRM to crazy levels. Our biggest client that we like to showcase is a pool management company. They don't even use CRM. Like the sales piece of CRM is a tiny fraction of how they use CRM. They use CRM to manage they put lifeguards in pools all across the United States and Canada. So they use CRM to track the lifeguards, the recruitment of lifeguards, the hiring process, the certification verification, and then their shifts. So they have a swap board where they can swap shifts. It's all really cool. That's all done in CRM, and it saves them. They've estimated it saves them about $400,000 to $500,000 a year in inefficiencies and fees that they used to pay to other software providers. So it's a huge investment that they made, but it's a huge payback. Top-down buy-in at the C level, so it goes back to that example I gave before, where that company wanted to get CRM in for the people, to force the people to use it, but the management had no desire to even go into the CRM. That is setting the wrong message. You need to be, the management really needs to buy in, because again, it goes back to the next example, carrots and sticks. The management needs to understand that they need to put carrots and sticks into place. I can't help you with that. If I give a suggestion that you should fire someone if they're not on the system, you may not like that, but management needs to come up with some sort of stick that you guys can live with to make sure that the CRM rollout goes smoothly and people actually understand it's a serious initiative, not just the person in the corner office saying, yeah, we need CRM, and then going back to their normal responsibilities. No, it needs to be engaged, and there needs to be buy-in. Select the right vendor now. Select the right vendor. Again, this is like a house. If all you need is a one bedroom or a studio apartment and that's all you have the budget for, you want to get that. If you want a mansion, and let's say you've got, your in-laws are going to come live with you and you've got like all sorts of friends that stay over at your house and you've got the budget for that, then that's the right one. So just pick the right house for yourself. Pick the right vendor. Again, we are pretty good at that. We'll help you with that. Yes, I have a vested interest in selling, but we also do that money back guarantee. So we've only had to give money back twice in the last 6 years. So we are pretty good about making sure that we have the right fit customers coming into Sage CRM. The next one kind of fits in with that. Realistic expectations for year one. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Understand there will be stumbles. No CRM rollout is going to go smoothly. Not every day you're going to wake up going, gosh, I'm really glad we did this. No, there's going to be times where your users are rebelling for whatever reason, or maybe the integration isn't working 100% the way you thought it would. But all those are fixable problems, and we've seen them enough times that we're going to be able to help ease you through that. But one of the keys is have realistic expectations. Don't think you're going to change your business in a year. The right CRM implemented the correct way is going to provide a platform, a foundation for future changes to your business, both your processes and your structure, but also your tactical things like how do you respond to a phone call and how do you integrate the CRM in with your website. But so that's kind of just set the realistic expectations. And involve 2 to 3 key players as product champions. I'm not actually so sure about this one. Ideally, you have one person as your product champion, the one person where the buck stops with them. It could be the controller a lot of times because they control the purse strings and they also, have the IT and the operation stuff falls to a lot of the controllers or VP of finances. It could be if you have an IT person, it could be them. A lot of times it's the VP of sales if it's a sales-only CRM initiative because those people have the most vested interest. Their comp plan is dependent upon them hitting their goals. And a lot of these folks nowadays realize that they can't hit their goals if everyone's working out of silos and Outlook and Excel. And, so they are very much invested with the authority and the responsibility, and they also have the desire, which is a key thing of making CRM successful. Okay, so I went through that pretty quickly, but that's the end of the presentation. I hope that was informative. Sherry, I don't know if you want to open it up for any questions.
Thank you, Peter. I am opening up the lines now. I do not see anything in the chat or the question pane. So opening lines for questions.
I think someone's on their computer audio.
And
I was just going to say if you think about this presentation and you have a question down the road, feel free to reach out to me. My information is on this front slide. Just pwolf@azamba.com. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me and the fastest response. I'm happy to give my mobile phone too if people want that to reach out to me, but the email is probably usually the fastest way to get a response. A lot of times when you see a presentation like this, it's kind of overwhelming. I threw a lot at you. Hopefully it gives you an idea of what CRM can do. But take it seriously. That's all I'd have to say. CRM, I'm a big believer of it. I think it's an amazing tool. I think it's an essential tool. But just take it as a serious initiative. Don't buy into the Salesforce rhetoric of just give them a credit card and you'll be successful with CRM. That just rarely works out, especially for small businesses. That's where the dream and the reality kind of veer away very sharply if you don't watch out.
Okay, I'm not seeing any questions come up. You can always reach out to us here at ISM. You can contact our team at AM for account manager, am@goism.com.
Thank you very much, Gary, for the opportunity. Yeah.
I want to thank you for your time today. Magella, I see, are you trying to ask a question, Magella? Take that as a no. Okay, perfect. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. Please keep looking at our scheduled events for the month. We have a lot of good stuff coming up, including increased efficiency in Sage 100, which will be this Thursday. So I hope to see you all there. Peter, thank you again for your time. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sherry.